I was recently reading the story of Jesus walking on the water, and I found it really interesting, a lot of aspects of it. And I want to talk to you about it today in your morning cup of inspiration. You see, Jesus just fed the 5,000, and he sent the disciples to Capernaum. He wanted them to go out in the boat to Capernaum. He wanted them to stay and pray. And he wanted to disperse everybody because he thought that the people there, they were ready to take him and make him king, and they wanted him to rule and take over the government of Rome, which is what Judas wanted, essentially. So he dispersed everybody. So the guys were out there rowing their boat, and a great storm came up. And this happened between like 3 and 6 in the morning. It says the fourth watch. And the Bible tells us that they were many stadia away from the shore, which is a Greek term for distance. So they were, and it's about an eighth mile for each one. So they were many away. So it could have been up to a mile away already from shore. And they're rowing, but it says the winds were contrary. So it means they were swirling, and they're rowing against themselves, basically. They're not going anywhere. Now, it's pitch black out, right? This is nighttime. Suddenly they look up and they see this ghost coming at them. And that's what they thought, and they got afraid with it. Well, a ghost then really meant more like a spirit. And they couldn't tell, it might have been an evil spirit, but they were afraid and they cried out. And it says over in Matthew 14, let's see, 14:26, and when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were frightened, saying, "It is a ghost," and they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid." And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come out of the boat and walk on the water with you." And he said, "Come." And the thing is, Peter got out of the boat and he was walking towards Jesus. But then the winds were blowing and the water is chopping up around him, and he got afraid. And it says that he realized what was going on around him, and he became afraid and he began to sink, and he cried out saying, "Lord, save me." So what did Jesus do? He put his hand out there. He reached down, stretched out his arm, grabbed his hand and took him up, saying, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" See, and that's how our life is like. When we got our eyes on Jesus, and we put our eyes on Jesus, we're going towards him. It's because he tells us to come, and we're going towards him. But little things get us sidetracked and get us off of Jesus. And when that happens, we start to sink. We start to sink into the oblivion of what's going on around us, and we suffer for it. Jesus doesn't suffer for it. We suffer for it. But yet, as soon as we say, "Jesus, help us," what's he do? He reaches right down there and he pulls us out again. Isn't that wonderful? Just think. We can fall down, we can fall in that water. How many times we do it? Probably every day. I know that there's times when I do that. But we could just say, "Jesus, help me." And he's right there because he's always saying, "Come. I'm always right here. No matter what you do, come. Come back to me." That's what the story I got out of this. It wasn't just Peter. It's for everyone. When Jesus says come, we just go to him. And if we keep our eyes on him, then we're going to be safe. It's when we take our eyes off him that we find ourselves in trouble. But again, we ask for help and he reaches out, grabs us by the hand and takes us back. God bless everyone. Look forward to seeing you again for another morning cup of inspiration. Have a wonderful day.